So you're given a chance to carry with your fellow man in such a fundamental way. How could you not? There's a Pokemon I'm very much fond of, and I should recite for the most well-known part of it to you. Now, I feel that for me personally, of all things, it captures the inches of what it means to be an artist. Merlin leans against his desk, he clears thought in preparation. Looks in distant peace, he mutters words in a heavy afternoon air with his soft, pastoral voice. To see a world in to see a world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wildflower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand. Eternally is an hour. There is still an unbelievably awkward silence while even reciting the short fragment. No one dares speak a word. Never clears his throat again. For you an artist to see the world in a grain of sand. See, dear children, without art, there would not be much to live for in this world. It is the most profound thing. He's clearly touched by the notion. I expect to see a lone tear rolling down his rough cheek, but it never comes. Jennifer and I whispered to her. So that was his discussion circle. She runs nonchalantly at me. Previous ones were the same. It's great, I know I'm just trying to get the debate going, but Club seems to be reluctant to reply. I feel like I'm guilty right over my mouth. Maybe I should have been spared from this. The meeting comes to a close. I really haven't much of any paint or pens today, and I feel somewhat disappointed. One thing appears next to us. He seems to be still fired up from the speech he delivered. His glance was musky and I don't know how you say that word. At the same time, and it gives me a headache, and I'm not sensitive to perfumes. He's looking at Rin like a hungry wolf. Do you remember Miss Simonji who visited the festival? I think so. I'm going to tell you something amazing. She's a very well-known gallerist around here. Turns out I feel like you're consider having some of your work put on display. The incident was a dramatic gesture. He was expecting Rin to show some joyous, shocked expression instead of great news, but she just stares at it blankly. Magnificent, isn't it? This would be a weird chance to get us ahead, girl. But no, I know what you're about to say. Yes, it wouldn't be a simple affair, but I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised at all we made it this big. We're gonna be the first step. When we're out, it was like when the iron's hot. Right in the Kai. Yeah, it does sound pretty great if if you're into that thing. I mean, sure. See, we should not this one pass. Am I right? I don't really. I see the trouble for some reason. I can't figure out why. What Amia is saying doesn't sound like a possibly great thing. Looks very down and though, I'm confused. I've never seen it like this before. So what do you think? Ren looks at her teacher's glowing face and back at her desk. I'll think about it. There's at least slightly taken aback of Ren's lack of subjective delight. Then he smiles widely and gently pats her head. Good girl. The clubbing is finally over, and I just look at my things and help clean up, so I feel exhausted. For some reason, there isn't much to do, however, so it's over quickly. Kids of Rain has left the classroom just a moment earlier, so we're walking down the stairs to the ground floor. I'll try to go where Normie has passed his speech about art, and to be lost in thought. Not an unusual state for her, I've learned, but something about the pressure that makes me feel uneasy. Penny for your thoughts. That'd be too cheap. Here's overpricing your thoughts. Wouldn't be able to sell them anyway. I'm not sure what I'm thinking yet. That'd be fraud too, like stealing candy from a baby. That's not theft. That's theft, not fraud. I have to think about what I think. Is that what the teacher said? You need to work together on a display and all that? She didn't answer, but stopped to interact with Louise's lobby. There aren't many people around, so it's very quiet. But there's echo from floors up, someone hurries across the hall. I think I'm going to go somewhere else. I think she really is troubled. Want company? Can't help with the thinking, but not like I have much else to do. I'm supposed to do some light exercise anyway. If you like. We can leave me outside while behind the dormitories. There's a small gate. There's a small back gate there, bigger than the same wrought iron as the main gate. Leads to the shadowy woodland park by the school. The gate's rusty, it doesn't see much use. However, it splits open, so we pass through. It's not written for students to leave the grounds, but somehow I feel a little uneasy. The path leads deeper into the forest. Tall Zakova and maple trees rustle in the wind. The canyons creating patches of chill air hanging in the places where the shadows fall. The first smells strongly of earth. I must feel cold, while the midsummer day is hot as ever. Wrench was ahead like a sleepwalker, sure-footed but with no apparent destination in mind. That seemed to be somewhere else. I followed pieces behind, taking more care to watch where my feet land. So I followed his head in a low angle. Sometimes making little detours downhill for climbing downward. Muted brown and gray trunks lined the path on both sides, covered with ferns and other undergrowth. After a little while, I started getting a little worried. The path is still wide and clear, so there's no chance of getting lost. But it doesn't look as if we have any particular destination. Nothing wrong with a bit of aimless wandering around, but I don't want to go so far that I get too tired to walk back. It's starting to get a little winded and my legs feel heavy. I want to stop and get a chance to catch my breath and rest my legs, but Ren keeps on going. Where are we going? Are we going anywhere at all? Worry tree. Let's see. So what exactly is a worry tree? It's a tree, like this. It says originally a large maple tree that may or may not be the worry tree. This green leaves sway slightly in the breeze, blowing through the clearing we just entered. I guessed as much. People would believe that you must come down here to wallow in misery. If you're miserable, by people I mean me, and the tree isn't really called anything. So you're miserable, you talk to a tree about it. No? What? You can't talk to trees. What do you think I am? Crazy? No, I didn't mean it like that. Maybe you should talk to trees. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say you're crazy. Even though you probably are if you talk to trees. I wouldn't recommend it in either case. People think you're a weird person. No, I just forget it. She looks mildly confused, which I don't blame her at all. She shook her head a bit to the side, just melting back to her usual one. Alright, I'm good at forgetting things. So why are we here? Are you miserable then? Give me the expression she makes. I hate how bad I am at interpreting Ren's mood. She didn't answer right away, as if she still wasn't quite certain of her own mood. The blank stare changes a more difficult expression as she shifts the weight around. Finally coming to a conclusion, Ren shrugs her shoulders. It won't seriously like that gesture. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe I feel kind of like I'm sinking underwater. Maybe. I kind of feel like I'm sinking underwater. I don't know what I should do. I don't know where I should go. That's all. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I thought walking might help. Like, if I go somewhere I would know where I should go. I don't really know if I did. Maybe I should have made Santa walking and help decide where to go. So why don't you try to get an exhibition? Or rather, why don't you know if you do? You can't decide? We didn't say anything for a while, raising our thoughts in silence. Silence is broken by the bird song and somewhere on the treetops, while the rustling of leaves as the bird takes flight. Maybe, I'm not sure if I can have a thing like that. So I'm really paying for myself. I don't think I could have my things on display the way I am now. This maybe wouldn't do it. But the reasons are like weak excuse. I dreamed on a trademark frown, but you didn't notice it. I don't care. He certainly thinks you could. I don't think you just said otherwise. I think he's calling in favors from his friends, too. I know, he's really done a lot for me, but this might be too much. Coming someone who can do it might become pretty hard. Maybe I couldn't do it at all. And he can't do it for me, and if I let him try, I'll sink deeper and deeper. Ren turns from the large maple tree and turns away from me. I want to close the feed distance between us, and I don't know. My irritation is suddenly gone. I start feeling sympathetic to her. I know exactly how you feel. Well, maybe I don't, but still. I think I felt like I haven't felt like I was actually in control of my life this whole year. I was helplessly going along with the flow. Like coming here to school, I didn't really choose it myself, and I certainly didn't choose this time in life to learn that I have this condition. Can't casually say the word out loud. Like, yeah, it's gonna be underwater. Like I can't even breathe. When she turns to face me again, I saw this expression on her face. Is that why you look so sad all the time? I don't look like you. Do I look to you like you look like to me? I don't look sad all the time. I just don't know what I should be feeling. What kind of face I should be making. Me either. Do I look sad now? Not really. I look like you always do, I think. But I'm sinking. I just try to float, like a rubber duck. Quack, quack, yellow and creepy. I think for a second about the direction I pursue in this conversation. It really doesn't matter. Think rubber ducks are creepy? You don't? They look very creepy. Like, everything has eyes, but isn't life is very disturbing. Like, rubber ducks and meals and reflections.